Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is August 25th. Stephen Strasburg is calling it quits, and it's time to write off the Angels and the Yankees. Let's talk about it. Hello, everybody. My name is Stephen. This is the middle of the order. Happy Friday to you all. Today's episode might be a little bit different. Not sure why. The software's been acting up today, so I might sound a little weird today. And if I do so, then I apologize. But I'm trying a couple different things to try to get this to work properly. So bear with me in today's episode. But yeah, baseball is going on, and it's some tough days to be an Angels fan. We'll dive into all of that a little bit later on, but for now, we'll start things off as usual with our series recap. Leading us off, we've got the Rockies at the Rays, and in the first game, the Rays came back in this one grand fashion style as they scored 9 runs in the 8th inning, including the first career home run from Oslavas Basabe, which was a grand slam. The Rays take the opener and come from behind fashion, winning it 12-4. Randy Arozarena, Isaac Paredes, they homer for the Rays. Yandy Diaz ties the game up in the 9th, which sent us to extras, where it was Brandon Lau who was the hero with a walk-off base hit as the Rays get another come-from-behind win, this one in extras 6-5. Luke Raley and Isaac Paredes, as well as Josh Lowe, all homer for the Rays. They get the win, and they sweep the Rockies, win that last game 5-3. Nationals and Yankees now. The Nats get 2 runs on 2 home runs from Carter Kieboom. Yeah, I remember that name. As well as CJ Abrams. The Yankees lose their 9th straight game, finding new lows on the season. They lose the first game 2-1. But it's time to all rise. You thought the Yankees were going to lose 10 straight games. The captain, Aaron Judge, hit not 1 or 2, but 3 home runs in the game, including a grand slam as the Yankees say adios to the 9-game losing streak, beating up on the Nats, winning it 9-1. And then after the 4th Aaron Judge home run in a 24-hour span, the Yankees had a lead late, but back-to-back home runs from Alex Call and CJ Abrams put the Nats out in front as they take down the Yankees and take 2 of 3 in the series, winning it 6-5. Blue Jays and the Oilers, and after a Varsho home run, the O's would have to battle and they would tie things up and send it to extras, where Brandon Belt came through in the clutch with a 2-run home run, helping the Blue Jays take down the Oilers in the opener 6-3. Anthony Santander continues to be a Jays killer as he homers twice in the game, helping the Oilers even up the series with a win 7-0. And then in the final game, Anthony Santander does it again. He hits another home run, as well as Cedric Mullins, who hit the go-ahead home run, helping the O's get the win as they beat the Blue Jays once again in a series 5-3. Cubs and Tigers now, and Cubs jump out to an early 4-0 lead with the help of a Seiya Suzuki home run. And although the Tigers kept things close, 2 more Cub runs late in the 9th sealed the deal as they take the first game 7-6. For the second game, Andy Ibanez makes the most of the night with a 2-homer day, helping lift the Tigers to evening up the series with that win 8-6. And for the finale, the rubber match, the Cubs jump out to a 4-0 lead. Kerry Carpenter would have something to say about it, though, as he crushes a grand slam to tie this game up for the Tigers. But even after that, the Cubs were able to score a couple of runs late and take the game as well as the series, beating the Tigers 6-4. Dodgers and Guardians, and a huge 5-run 7th inning for the Guardians, including a 3-run shot from Cole Calhoun, helps them take the opener as the Guardians win it 8-3. Mookie Betts goes 5 for 5 in the game, as this one was suspended and played over a 2-day span, but regardless, the Dodgers win it and even up this series 6-1. And for the finale, the Dodgers' number 2 prospect Michael Busch hit his first career MLB home run, and later on, Kiki Hernandez also goes deep in the game. The Dodgers take 2 of 3 versus the Guardians, winning it 9-3. The Mariners at the White Sox now, and the Mariners are flying high on a 6-game win streak, and after a 5-run first inning, it was clear they were going to make it 7. Later in the game, Kyle Raleigh hits 2 home runs. Dominic Canzone and Teoscar Hernandez join him as well. The Mariners win it, making it 7 straight, 14-2. The Mariners, who are not in a playoff spot at all this season yet, make it 8 straight wins with this game against the White Sox, and now in second place in the AL West, 1 win away from first and in a playoff spot for the first time this season, as they take the second game being the White Sox 6-3. And the Mariners up a run entering the 9th inning looking for their 9th straight win, but wouldn't get it so easily, as Benintendi hit a single to tie the game and send it to extras. And in extras, Tim Anderson stole third, and in the process, the throw hit off his helmet, bouncing away from all the Mariners, which meant it was an easy trip home from him. The White Sox walk it off and end the Mariners' 8-game winning streak, beating them 5-4. The Royals and the A's, Jordan Diaz, Zach Goloff, Shea Langelaris, and Brent Rooker all homer, as the A's win the first game 6-4. The A's scored 5 runs in the first 3 innings and led for the whole game, leading them to another win 5-4. And the Royals blanked the A's while hitting 2 home runs from Polanco and Witt Jr. They avoid the sweep with a win, being the A's 4-0. The Red Sox and the Astros, and 2 Chas McCormick home runs and 1 from Yanyer Diaz lead the Astros past the Red Sox, beating them in the first of 4, 9-4. Justin Verlander gives a vintage performance, keeping the Red Sox down, while the Astros have a 4-run inning as well as a home run from Kyle Tucker in another win, as they beat them 7-3. For the third game, jumping along in this one, tied up at 4, we head to extras. Adam Duvall crushes a clutch 3-run home run to put Boston out in front, as the Red Sox get one versus the Astros, beating them 7-5. And this last game was all Boston, as they scored 11 runs in the first 3 innings and 6 in the last 2, which means the Red Sox and Astros end up splitting the 4-game set 2 apiece, as Boston wins it 17-1. The Reds and the Angels, and due to some rain, the Monday opener game would happen as a doubleheader on Wednesday, so the first game of this series would be on Tuesday, where Mike Trout made his return to the Angels lineup back from injury. And in that game, 3 Angel home runs from Brandon Drury, Mike Moustakas, and the recently back from injury as well, rookie catcher Logan O'Hoppe all hit home runs. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to beat Elly De La Cruz and the Reds, as he reaches on an error that scores 2 runs to tie the game. Spencer Steer doubles in the would-be winning one, as the Reds take the opener, being the Angels 4-3. Doubleheader now for Wednesday, and in both games there is no Mike Trout. Ohtani hits his league-leading 44th home run, but the game was stolen by another young star in Elly De La Cruz, who had a home run and a triple and drove in 6 runs, as the Reds take another one, beating the Halos 9-4. In that other game, Tyler Stevenson and Matt McLain homer for the Reds, as things for the Angels go from bad to worse, as Trout ends up back on the IL. Ohtani has a UCL tear, which means he won't pitch again for the season. The Reds sweep the Angels, winning it 7-3. The Mets and the Braves, and the Mets score 4 runs in the 5th to take the lead away from the Braves, and then put the exclamation point in the 6th with a 3-run home run from Lindor, which helps the Mets do the surprise thing and beat the Braves, as they win 10-4. Eddie Rosario and Marcell Ozuna both homer in the game, which was the difference as the Braves even up the series with a win 3-2. And then Marcell Ozuna homers for the fourth time in the series as he had 2 in the first game loss, which helps the Braves once more, letting them take the series versus the Mets as they should have, winning it 7-0. Probably one of the more important series of the week, the Giants and the Phillies. Edmundo Sosa, Alec Bohm, Kyle Schwarber all homer in the game, as well as an inside-the-park home run from Bryce Harper that leads the Phillies taking the opener as they win it 10-4. Bryce Harper hits another home run in the series, but the Giants were up a run in the 9th before Trey Turner had a 2-run single deflect off the pitcher. The Phillies walk it off as they beat the Giants once again 4-3. Paul DeJong was DFA'd by the Blue Jays and is now with the Giants, and what a debut he had, going 3 for 5 with a 2-run home run, a total of 4 RBIs on the 9th. The Phillies were down by 3 entering the 9th, and it's the king, Bryce Harper, crushes a 3-run home run to tie the game back up and send it to extras. But Paul DeJong, a 2-run single from him, that puts the Giants back in front. They avoid the sweep, and the Phillies win 2 of 3 versus the Giants, but the Giants win that last game 8-6. Twins and Brewers playing a 2-game series here, and a 2-run home run from Willy Adames and a 5-run 6th inning lifts the Brewers to the win as they take the opener of the 2, 7-3. Twins 3 home runs from Royce Lewis, Michael A. Taylor, and Kyle Farmer were matched with 3 home runs from the Brewers from William Contreras, Willy Adames, and Tyrone Taylor, which sent us to extras, where it would be Bryce Terang who walks it off on a single as the Brewers get the 2-game sweep over the Twins, taking it 8-7. Cardinals and Pirates now, and the Pirates unload on the Cardinals in the first game as they win 11-1. A 2-run home run from Andrew McCutcheon was his 299th career home run, and he's one away from quite the massive milestone. The Pirates take another 6-3, and the final game, the Cardinals score 5 runs in the first 2 innings. They avoid the sweep with the win 6-4. Moving along, we've got the Marlins and the Padres. Ha-Sung Kim crushes a grand slam, and that was later followed with a home run from Manny Machado as the Padres take the opener in the series, beating the Marlins 6-2. Jesus Luzardo throws a good game, and he and the Marlins pen blanks the Padres as Jorge Soler hits a home run. The Marlins win and even up the series 3-0. And further out of the match, it was the Padres' turn to blank the Marlins, and its X marks the spot as Xander Bogaerts hits his 14th home run of the year, helping the Padres get the series win as they beat the Marlins 4-0. Lastly, now we have a 2-game set between the Rangers and the Diamondbacks, and the strong pitchers duel kept this game tied at 0 for the first 6 innings. Adolis Garcia, he homers for the Rangers, and then in the 9th, Ketel Marte launches his 20th home run of the year to tie the game up and send it to extras, where Texas scores 2 runs in the 11th, but the Diamondbacks were able to answer with 3 and walked it off on a 2-run single from Tommy Pham. The D-backs take the first game of the 2, 4-3. And in the other game, the D-backs jumped out to a 5-run lead as Zach Gallen shoved versus the Rangers, resulting in the Diamondbacks 2-game sweep versus them as they win it 6-3. That will do it for our series recap. Moving on to the game of the week, and we're going to Philly for the Giants and Phillies game. Top of the first, Wilmer Flores, home run number 18, makes it 1-0. He then singled in a run in the 3rd to make it 2-0 Giants. Then Paul DeJong making his debut as a Giant, home run number 14 on the year, doubles the lead, 4-0 Giants. But then here come the Phillies in the 6th inning. Schwarber, number 34, 64 makes it 4-1. Trey Turner, home run number 15, makes it 4-2. Later on, Austin Slater, he doubles in a run to make it 5-2 Phillies. And after Camilo Doval, who's been slumping as of late, he walks Schwarber, walks Trey Turner, and then Bryce Harper, a 3-run home run, his 12th of the year, 3rd of the series. That tied the game up and sent us to extras, where Paul DeJong singles in 2 to make it 7-5. A sac fly makes it 8-5. Bottom of the 10th, Edmundo Sosa, he doubles in a run, but that's all the Phillies can get as they drop the last game. The Giants win it 8-6, but the Phillies did win the series 2-1. Now with our baseball news, and this first one is a little bit sad. Stephen Strasburg is set to retire in September, and unfortunately for him, his career did not go the way that he had wanted it to. He was a number 1 draft pick back in the 2009 draft, first overall for the Nationals. Made his debut June 8th in 2010, where he struck out 14 batters, and from there he went on to win 3 All-Stars, was a 2019 World Series champion with the Nationals, also was the World Series MVP. Remember when pitchers could bat? He was a Silver Slugger in 2012 and all MLB first team in 2019. He's now 35 years old, and he couldn't overcome complications from thoracic outlet syndrome, which is, for those who are not so familiar, it's a term that refers to the related syndromes involving compression of the nerves, arteries, and veins in the lower neck and upper chest area. We've known he had nerve issues for a while. It is really unfortunate. He signed a 7-year, $245 million deal with the Nationals after the 2019 season, which was arguably his best season. And since then, he's only played in 8 games for a total of 31 innings from 2020 to 2022, when he had a career-high innings in 209 in 2019. He had a 13-year career. Career-wise, he's 113-62 in regular season games. He finished in top 5 in the Cy Young voting twice. Career ERA 3.24. So overall, just an elite pitcher. And it's unfortunate because he's kind of going out with a whimper and not a bang. But it's an unfortunate thing for him. Hopefully he is healthy and he can enjoy the rest of his life and the retirement with that money that he has from his contract. But sad sight, sad stuff. Moving along, Ohtani has a UCL injury. He will not pitch for the remainder of the year. And it's a brutal blow for the Angels, who also lost Mike Trout. He came back from injury after a while, played 1 game on the Tuesday, missed the doubleheader on Wednesday, and then was placed back on the IL. So there you go. That, for me, is the Angels season. They got Ohtani back. With Trout coming back, things were going to look good. And, Trout goes immediately back on, and now Ohtani has a UCL. Now, Ohtani wants to bat. Give him credit where credit's due. But in my opinion, when you're as good as he is, he's going to be getting a big paycheck this offseason. And let's be honest, the Angels are out of it. At this point, they're done. So Ohtani should be careful, batting going forward for the remainder of the year. If he wants to bat, and I get it, you want to be a competitor. That's what all baseball players want to do, is they want to compete. They want to give it their all. And I can 100% understand that. But at the same time, you are a generational talent. You're the best player in the game. Your health is way more important, and that's something that you should be worrying about first. Hopefully the injury doesn't get worse from him batting. Obviously, it's unlikely to, but at the same time, he's a freak, and there's been freak injuries, so you never know what will happen with that there. And going off of that, it's time to write off LA and New York. The Angels are 10.5 games back of the wild card. The Yankees are 10 games back. And, we have about 35-ish games to go in the season. There's not enough time. The teams they have to go through, the Blue Jays, the Astros, the Mariners, the Rays, they're too good of teams. Even Boston, it's a tough, LA is for sure done. Ohtani's not pitching. Their pitching depth isn't there to compete with the other AL West teams as well as the Blue Jays and Red Sox. With Trout back on the IL, you're losing out on some, your talent there. The guys that they have, the guys have been doing things, guys like Mike Moustakas, Brandon Drury, it's not sustainable for a good team. And Ohtani is great, but it's tough to see the LA story kind of end this way. And if Ohtani decides to sign somewhere else next season, it's going to be unfortunate to see how this season ends for LA, but they're 100%. I do not see a world where the Angels can make the dance. The Yankees, even then, 10 games back. But let's be honest, the pitching hasn't been there. Luis Severino has not been good. Domingo Germán, we know his issues. Frankie Montas and Carlos Rodon with the injuries just hasn't been there. Your Garrett Cole is not sustainable. Aaron Judge, we're going to talk about him a little bit later on. He can hit as many home runs as he wants. You can't win them all, and it's just not happening. The team that the Yankees put on paper have not been able to win ball games. We know the struggles they've had, and now 10 games back, trying to compete with the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, the Mariners, the Astros, going up to the Rays, which I believe they're facing this weekend. It's tough for the Yankees, and like I said, we're getting to the point where with 35 games, they have to win 10 games and hope that a team above them loses 10 games, which means 20 games need to go their way. And with 35 games left, that's more than half the games falling the Yankees and LA's way. It's just not going to happen, and that's kind of the way you draw straws at the end of the day. Angels and Yankees, I don't think we'll be seeing them in the dance come October. Moving along now, we have our hot and cold, and we're starting it with the Dodgers. Mookie Betts, 13 for 21, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, 7 runs, good for an OPS of 1.795. Marcell Ozuna, 12 for 23, 4 home runs, 7 RBIs, 7 runs, an OPS of 1.672. Bryce Harper, 9 for 22, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, 6 runs, an OPS of 1.416. Willy Adames from your Brewers, 10 for 22, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs, 4 runs, an OPS of 1.364. And lastly, Aaron Judge, 6 for 24, 6 home runs, 10 RBIs, 6 runs, an OPS of 1.308. Yes, all of Judge's hits this week were home runs. For the cold side, it starts with the Dodgers again. James Outman, 3 for 20 with 12 Ks. Riley Green with your Tigers, 3 for 25, 11 Ks. Jack Sawinski, 0 for 11, 6 Ks. Jordan Diaz, 1 for 17, 8 Ks. And Brian Rocchio, 1 for 14, 11 Ks. Those are your hot and colds. And now a look at our outstanding performances, and we're starting with Luis Castillo. 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 9 Ks. Jordan Montgomery, 8 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 6 Ks. Justin Verlander, 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 9 Ks. Jesus Luzardo, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 7 Ks. Dean Kremer, 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, no earned runs, no walks, and 5 Ks. And lastly, Charlie Morton, Uncle Charles, still doing it. 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 11 Ks. And that will do for the outstanding performances. Moving along the stat leaderboard, and not much has changed. Luis Arias still leads an average at 355. Ronald Acuna Jr. now ties Arias for the hits at 169. Shohei retakes his crown for the home runs at 44. Matt Olson still leads RBIs at 108. Acuna at runs at 113. Soto at walks at 106. Acuna stolen bases at 58. And Ohtani on OPS at 106.9. The wins, 14 for Justin Steele, 14 for Zach Gallen, and 14 for Spencer Strider. Three-way tie at the top. Those three plus Blake Snell are probably your NL Cy Young, contenders, and Blake Snell leads in ERA still at 2.73. Strider and K's at 2.27, and Alexis Diaz now leads it with saves at 34, with Doval kind of slumping as he has been recently. That is your stat leaderboard. And now a look at our upcoming series for the weekend. We have the Yankees at the Rays, Guardians at Blue Jays, Rockies at Oilers, Dodgers at Red Sox, A's at White Sox, Astros at Tigers, Rangers at Twins, Royals at Mariners, Angels at Mets, Nationals at Marlins, Cardinals at Phillies, Cubs at Pirates, Padres at Brewers, Braves at Giants, and Reds at D-backs. That one definitely stands above the rest. Any of those NL wildcard teams face off. That's a fun series. So the Reds and Diamondbacks definitely stand out of the 15. But so does the Dodgers at the Red Sox, as Mookie Betts will make his return to Fenway in over 3 years. So should be some special moments in Boston, as well as that Reds Diamondbacks series. Things to look forward to for this upcoming weekend series. And now, lastly, we have our playoff predictor, starting with the Astros in the 6th seed and the Twins in the 3, and it's the Astros who win that. The Mariners, the first time they've been in a playoff predictor, taking on the Rays, and it's the Rays who defeat the Mariners in their debut here. Astros at Rangers and Rays at Oilers for a little bit of AL West and AL East matchups there. The Astros defeat the Rangers and Baltimore beats Tampa. So we have an ALCS of the Astros at the Oilers, in which the Oilers hang on and win and advance the World Series. On the NL side, the D-backs at the Brewers, and it's the Brewers who wins that. Cubs at Phillies, and it's the Cubs that win that. So we have Brewers at Dodgers and Cubs at Braves. There are no upsets here. The Dodgers and the Braves both move on. So the NLCS is the Dodgers at the Braves, and it is the Dodgers who beat them and head to the World Series, where they will take on the Baltimore Oilers. And it is the Los Angeles Dodgers who are your 2023 World Series champions. And with that, this Friday episode will wrap up. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. A shorter episode for Friday, which is kind of nice after the many long episodes we've had in a row. Hopefully the sound isn't too awful and it's still listenable here. Apologies once again for any audio issues that may happen in this episode, as well as possibly the next episode if I can't get it fixed out. But hopefully over the weekend I'll be able to, work through this. But thank you, everybody, so much for listening, and I will see you guys Monday. We have one more week of August. Can you believe it? We're almost in the last month of this season. Crazy to think. Thank you, everybody, and I will see you on Monday.